Hi everybody, and welcome to the live stream. So we're going to have a look at an interesting topic today, pretty exciting, and so hopefully you've got the audio now. Just test, make sure that's all up and running, and welcome, and just got a few little things to get through here. So let's get into it. So just testing that. Audio sounds good. So welcome everybody. Today we're going to look at the calculator for calculating divs. Again, we've already done one previously, but now we've got a new addition, which is Wrapped Bitcoin. It's been added to the divs. So I did a live stream a couple of days ago on the Excel spreadsheet. Now that's essentially being incorporated into the Axion calculator, which you can use to calculate your Axion dividends and your Wrapped Bitcoin dividends. So we're going to check that out. We'll wait for a few people to join us, and I'm sure that will happen soon. So this will be on live recording, so you'll be able to watch this back and enjoy. Let's have a quick look at the price at the moment. So Axion at the moment is 0.000020915. So it's actually rising a bit off the bottom there. Let's have a quick look at some of the what the bounce has been. So about 11%, so that's not bad. 11% bounce, so pretty cool. And let's just check the chat. Old Man Hex, welcome Old Man Hex, good to have you. Howdy indeed. So we're going to look at how to calculate Axion and Wrapped Bitcoin dividends with the new calculator. Pretty cool. We're just going to have a quick summary of the price of Axion at the moment. We can also see other staking tokens. Wise is at 38 cents and Hex is at 00828. So interesting time there. And we can see that I think it's the quiet before the storm to pick up these prices. And we can see that Axion looks like it's really going to go soon, so pretty neat. So welcome everybody to the channel. We're going to get straight into the Axion. Now we've just looked at the price, so we're going to get straight into the Axion calculator, and this is it here. You can work out the dividends, and I might turn it to the dark side, so you can just change the colors there. Very nice indeed. So we're going to look at, if you want to get, first of all, we're going to look at Axion dividends. So if you've got 10,000 Axion and you staked it for 350 days, you get the first big payday. And so you'd ended up getting, the share rate has climbed from 1.09 now is 1.10. So 10,000 divided by that number will give you the basic shares here, which is 9 million. Longer pays better, you get 20% for every year. So this is 350 days is almost a year, but not quite. So you get 1.74 million shares. That will give you total shares of 10.8 million shares. So shares is a bit like owning a company. You get shares, and that entitles you to some of the company's dividends. In this case, the company dividends is really the reward pool. So every day, annualized 8% inflation goes into the reward pool. Also, every day auction is held, and 80% of the Ethereum that goes into the auction is used to do market buybacks on Uniswap, and that is then used to buy Axion and Axion on Uniswap, and that is therefore goes back into the reward pool. And so you're getting the 8% inflation plus the reward pool with the Axion buybacks via the auction. And so that's what gets distributed out to people who hold shares. So really Axion's all about holding. The more shares you got, the better. And obviously shares become harder to get in the sense that the share rate goes up over time, and so that's very important to realize. So if you've got more shares, you'll get a bigger percentage of the reward pool. So you've got here a percentage of the pool, 0.0028. So that's the number one thing that determines how much of a reward you will get, really. Given that we already know what goes into the reward pool. So this particular, if you did 10 million for 350 days, you're going to get 0.0028% of the reward pool rewards, and that's pretty much it. So if you took that today, if you had an initial investment at the current price of Axion at 0002, then initial investment would be $2,043 US to get 10 million Axion, and then if you stake that for 350 days, which is what we got up here, your outcome would be 2,314. So 13% increase in US dollar profit and 13% in Axion tokens as such. So that's what you'd come out with is 11.3 million after the 10 million. So hopefully that's easy enough to understand for the Axion. So if you're new to Axion, hopefully this will particularly help. Once again, obviously, if you stake longer pays better, you actually get 20% per year extra. So times 15 years, which is the maximum period you can stake, 15.2 years or 5,555 days, which means if we do that, and we can use the scaling to do that, and as you can see, as I move the scale, the days will increase, and as I move it up to 15 years, which is the maximum, we see that suddenly the longer pays better is dramatically bigger, because you're getting up to 300% more shares for that. So if we take it back down to that 350 days again, you see 350 days, we're getting 1.7 million, but if we stake it for 15.2 years, suddenly we're getting 27.7 million shares, which is dramatically different based on our 10 million Axion. Now 10 million is kind of an arbitrary line, but important one to take into account when staking. So if we staked all of that for that period of time, we'd increase our percentage to 0.0094%. So now we've dramatically increased our reward pool. So our $2,000 would then become 10,720 at the current price. So this assumes the price is flat. That would be a profit of 8,677 profit. So we've jumped from 13% profit to 424% profit, but of course we have to wait 15 years for that. So that's really neat by itself. Obviously, if the price dramatically rises, then you're going to get a dramatic increase in profit. And so what we can do is just hit the simulation here and raise the price. If we raised it to 0.001, that would dramatically increase the profit from 2,000 to 52,471. So you can see that there's price uplift, and there's also staking reward bonuses. So longer pays better, gives you more shares, and obviously if the price goes up, you'll get way more as well. On top of that is that there are 5 big paydays. So if you cover across those, one for the first 5 years, and they increase in reward, then you'll get even more Axion if you do that. So that's important, which is included. Now let's quickly look. We've just added the VCA earnings has been added. So we're going to go through the I on here. So the I here has got information. Now I'll just leave this in the comment section so you can check this out if you wish. Now, basically, they've added this. It says VCA stands for Venture Capital Auction. So if you didn't know that, that's what it means. You earn liquid wrapped Bitcoin. So this hasn't been launched yet, but it will be launched soon. I'm imagining in a 2-3 week period is my expectation. So it's currently being tested and obviously audited, and it will be ready to go live pretty soon. Obviously, marketing as well has been held back until VCA has been get ready, and then obviously they've got a lot of other items as well, like credit cards and stuff to come out. So watch the space on that. A lot's going to happen in a very short space of time, so definitely quiet before the storm. Now basically it says you earn liquid wrapped Bitcoin twice per week by just staking Axion. You can withdraw your wrapped Bitcoin at any time. So that's the difference, is that the Axion that you get in the Axion stakes, you can get out once it matures, or you can pay an early penalty fee, which is not recommended in most cases, to get it out earlier. Whereas the VCA will give you, you'll be staking your Axion, you'll get Axion as normal. So this is all normal, you'll get this. And obviously the longer that you stake, the more shares you get. So a lot of people have gone to stake 15.2 years, so to get the wrapped Bitcoin. So the wrapped Bitcoin has become their main driver for value and return. So this is why they've added this calculator on here. So based on the sold out VCAs twice per week, and that's very important that they're sold out. Now the daily auctions are typically very good in terms of selling out in most cases, so that's a reasonably fair assumption. You should receive the following amount of wrapped Bitcoin as liquid dividends for your stake. At the selected price, there will be 1 billion Axion available in each VCA. So they're going to have 2 a week, Tuesday and Saturday is the understanding, and they'll have 1 million in each of those, so that's 2 million. So Tuesday plus Saturday both have 1 billion Axion in them, and that will be 2 billion per week. So that will then be adjusted over time depending on the price and the demand. So just remember that. So it starts off like that, and then we're looking at selling out. So this calculator is basically saying that if we did 10 million and we stayed for 15 years, we'd get this much percentage, 0.009. That's the key one that you want to get, because that's going to determine how much of the Axion reward pool you get, but it's also going to determine how much of the wrapped Bitcoin you get as well. So take that into account. So this is saying that person who put 10 million in for 15.2 years would end up getting 0.00. Let me just take the price simulator off. Let me just return that to, just to make sure that's not, it's got the adjustment on there. So I'm just going to take that down to the current market price and turn that off. And so that means that at basically this person with 10 million would get 0.0094% of the reward pool of Axion, but also Wrapped Bitcoin. And so this would be 0.000726 Wrapped Bitcoin. So what is that? That's 72,600 Satoshis is the other way of looking at it. And that's $30 a week, or $141 a month, or $1,698 per year. And obviously that's based on the current Axion price. Now, if obviously once you get the liquid Bitcoin, it goes into your wallet, and then that will go up in value depending on what, or down in value depending on what the price of Bitcoin is. So if you think Bitcoin's going to go to 100,000 or a million over the next 5 to 10 years, getting the Wrapped Bitcoin, you have different strategies. You can either sell it immediately for the value it's worth today, or you can just hold on to it and sell it in 10 years time. Perhaps it gets to a million, and so your Bitcoin gets so much more valuable in time. Right, so often I say there's only about 30.5 million Bitcoin because about 4 million's been lost anyway. So that's a very good, reasonable, longer-term strategy, and perhaps a great retirement plan. So there's different ways of looking at it, different viewpoints. Some people like to take value today, so take that into account. So let's do another one where people often ask, if I do a million Axion, is it worth it? Well, a million Axion is going to give you, if you stay for 15.2 years, because we're going to focus on the VCA here, the venture capital auction, that's going to give you 0.009%. And that's going to cost you $200, so you're assuming $2. And then you've got to take into account the gas fees. And then you've got to, that's going to tell you that you're going to get $3 a week based on today's Axion price, and obviously relative and on the Bitcoin price at the moment as well, because obviously Bitcoin keeps going up over time, and that's going to keep going up. So here we are. We've got Wrapped Bitcoin is at quadruple 073, which is $3, $14 a month, or $169 a year. So that 1 million, if you staked it for 15.2 years, that's what it would be, and that excludes the Axion benefit there. So, and you can see with the I information, it tells you what the actual outcome is. So pretty interesting stuff there. Now, it must be noted as per the bottom that this is just an estimate based on current pool size. It is impossible to accurately predict the amount of dividends you will receive over the term of your stake, and is based on many variables. We cannot hold any responsibility for miscalculations and reserve the right to update the formula used to produce these estimates any time. So it's important to know that while watching this video too. Now, let's simulate the price, and let's move to a double. So we're at 0002, which is approximately the price at the moment. Let's move up to 0004, which is a doubling of the price. That would give us basically move it to $6 a week. So you can see how that would work. If we think the price is going to go up 3x or 4x, which is up to 0008, or 5x from now to 001, which I think is quite reasonable. In fact, I think it's going to blow well past that, but let's just use that for argument's sake. Then you're looking at $15 a week for a $1 million investment, which is 204. And then obviously you've got your Axion benefit, and then you've got your venture capital auction benefit with Wrapped Bitcoin. Obviously this is deferred benefit because you have to wait for 15.2 years if you did it that long. Let's just say that we only do it for 365 days, not 10 years. That would give us 0.003, and obviously our Axion benefit falls. But if the price 5x, that would be worth $4 a week, $20 a month, $246 a year, so which is pretty good versus the initial amount. So there's what you would cancel off, even though the difference here, the value is going to be deferred. So that would be deferred 15.2 years. Now the team is going to look at stuff like doing NFTs or non-fungible tokens, where they can potentially, that could be one vehicle they could potentially sell the shares in the future. So because obviously over time there are new investors and people have their decisions change. So that's something important to take into account. So hopefully that's helped quite a bit. Obviously, the more amount that you did. So let's say that you did, The average amount of shares, by the way, is 18 million is the average amount, and so we can find that on the Axion dashboard. And let's go down. Pretty sure. So here's the average average Axion shares owned is 18.61 million. Now there's obviously there's a lot of whales that have staked, so you've got to take that into account. But that's how many they are. This particular account has 1.4 million staked into it, and so they've got 5 million shares. Now the average is 18.61. So typically you'd like to beat that average so that you get a good amount of shares a reward. So it's a pretty decent guideline there, or benchmark. Now there's 391 billion shares in the Axion ecosystem, so that's important to note as well. And so let's quickly check Profile 2, which has got they've got almost 30 million shares, and I think there's quite a few people around like this at the moment. If you look on Etherscan, you'll see I think that the top 300 people and still got liquid Axion have 330 million staked. So, and you can see that they've got 110 million. So with 30 million, they've got 110 million. They are staked for 5.2 years, so they've staked it all out, whereas the average for the whole Axion ecosystem is only 4.27 years. And they own 0.028% of all the shares, so that's pretty epic. That's 110 million shares based on 30 million staked. So they've gone all in. They're looking for that wrap Bitcoin, and they're happy to defer their Axion rewards, which will be huge and accumulate over time. So if we jumped and we just did that on the calculator, we put it in 30 million. We did 30 million, and we took the days and we made it for 15.2 years. The share rate is today's share rate. That would give them 110.3 million shares, which is exactly what we see here. We see them at the 110 million shares owned. So they've got over 5 times more than the average Axion shares owned by the average person. Obviously, that's average includes big whales. Now, what I was going to show there was that they'd get 0.0282. What did we say here? 0.28. So they obviously got a slightly better. That's what they've got there, and they got slightly less than 30 million there. So that's why there's a slight difference. But what are they looking at getting? This person here in the future, 157,000 versus we've obviously got the higher price. So let's take that down. Let me take that down to the current price, which is about approximately 0002. So it's creeping up there a little bit, but that's where we're at. And so they're looking at earning $95 per week or $5,000 per year. And their 30 million Axion is currently worth 6,000. So that's a pretty handy position to be in. And I think that's looking good. Once, obviously, if Bitcoin goes back up in price, because this goes all into your wallet liquid, whereas this stuff here, you have to wait till the stake ends. Or they create an NFT which you can sell your shares later in the future. But this is the big prize of wrap Bitcoin that people are looking at. So not too bad at all, not too bad, and that's how that plays out. So hopefully that gives you some idea. Let's move up to profile 3, and this profile is much bigger. They've got quite a hefty investment, 294 million and 61,000 invested. And they've got 0.25. So let's check that out. We're going to take that amount and we're going to plug that into the calculator, and we're going to put that for 15.2 years. That would give them 1.08 billion shares. So we can see what they've got here at the moment. They've got 1.01. Obviously they're not fully staked, so and the share rate would have been slightly different. So they are at 1 billion shares, so that's pretty epic. And they've got 0.257. The calculator says 0.277, so pretty accurate. And they're looking at 60,000 to 309 for the Axion, but with the wrap Bitcoin, they're looking at least $50,000 per year. So they're looking at getting almost $1,000 per week, which is pretty handsome indeed. And that's at the current price. Obviously, if the price doubles, if it doubled to 4, then suddenly the rewards change very quickly. The initial investment 60 would go to 98, and things change very fast. If the price tripled to 000206, then you're looking at 60,000 now being 147 in Bitcoin, and that excludes the upside from the actual Bitcoin price. So it's all based on the Axion price at the time. and the amount that's for sale in the auction, and that it gets sold out. And we've had pretty good auctions actually for the most part. As I say, most auctions get pretty close to sold out. The last couple of days are slightly less, and that's, I believe, people holding their Ethereum back, given the change in the market dynamics with the pullback, and also because they're waiting for these VCA auctions to start and enter. Because when they enter, they're going to get 10% of Wrapped Bitcoin back liquid in their wallet. And when I say in their wallet, they still have to claim it, but they basically get liquid Bitcoin that's claimable, and they're going to get the Axion with all the normal benefits for that. So it's pretty exciting. Let's finally go to the last one we have to hit. We have Profile 4. Profile 4 happens to be a genuine whale. If you thought Profile 3 was big, well, this one is huge. 1.4 billion staked. They are staked not even for all the 15.2 years. They have a diversified time profile in their staking ladder. So they're only staked for 5.67 years. So if we take their amount here and we put it into here, we can actually see that they would actually get 5.2 billion shares if they'd staked for 15 years. They haven't. They've only got they've staked for 5.67 years. They staked early as well for a lot of it. They've got 3.89 billion shares. So that's huge. You can see that they were at 1.01%, now dropped to 0.99 because more people are staking. So even the whale has now dropped below 1%. Now if they decide to stake longer, and they may very well do that with some of their stakes, we can check those out below. We can check out that they have a varied amount of stakes. Got this big one here, 10 million, that's going to mature in 2021 in October. What else have they got that's not quite? They got this one here for 100 million. That's 2021 as well. 50 million for 23, 50 million for 22. So you see they've got a lot of shorter stakes. If they decide to upgrade these, obviously they would, but they've got a nice timeline profile because they've got $300,000 US at the moment. This is how much it's worth. So they're making very time diverse because obviously they want the income, and they haven't fully staked them all. But if they did, they would move to 1.34%. They're currently sitting at that 1%. So let's see what that is going to be. They're going to look at getting $13,700 a week at the upgraded price. I'm just going to take that back down to 0002 to start off, so we can follow this along. So they're going to have that giant whale is going to have. Let's just do the numbers. They've got 5.67 years. So we're just going to get calculator out quickly. Yeah, 5.67, and we'll just do a quick easy one there. So let's say it's 2070 days, 2070. That gives us 0.7. What have we got here? 1%, so not quite correct there. Let's have a look. We've actually got this as different, so trying to get that. It's pretty similar, so let me have a look. Let me just take this down. Not sure if we can actually take that down. Oh, can we take that to 1.09? We're not going to have the exact number of days, so I'll have to do a little fudging, but we'll get there. That's close enough. So it's just a little fudging in the days there, just to see what sort of reward they'll get with this percentage pool of 0.996. And we're looking at the current price 0002 at $3,386 a week, or 0.07 Bitcoin, or close to 4 Bitcoin per year, which is $176,000. So that's them. That's initial 291 is what they've got, which is pretty close to what we've valued them here. And that's what their deferred benefit is in there. But this is their liquid benefit, their short-term benefit that they'll get. Obviously, if the price doubles, then you're looking at, doubles, and potentially looking at obviously getting to that to 352. So as soon as there's a bit of price improvement, the total value of that auction pool goes up, and they're able to buy more Wrapped Bitcoin on the market as well. So pretty exciting. Obviously, if the price went to 1 cent you're assuming that there's 1 billion sold, of course, every time. That would create some pretty amazing results. 291 would become 2.2 million per year. So some interesting numbers there. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. That's a fun calculator. I've left it in the video description. Hopefully, just going through these different numbers has helped. Obviously, I didn't quite go through the small one, which is quite a few people might just have this amount, 1.4 million. We'll put that in there and see what that gives us. We're going to go to 5 for 5 days, which I think this one is, and yeah, 15.2. They're fully staked, as you would be at that amount. Let's go to reset. So reset there. So they got 0.001. That would give them 5.5 million shares. What did we say they have? They have 5 million, so that's looking good. We had the price at this at the moment, so let's take it down to 0.2, and that's what we saw what they would get. 229 versus their 281. But if price, of course, jumps to just even 50% higher, which is very easy because as we see, 50% higher is just up to here, where we've been up there three times in a row to 0003 mark. So quite reasonable assumption that would be worth $6, and so their $281 investment they'd get back in a year at 343. Pretty powerful, folks. Pretty powerful indeed. Now, obviously, that could easily go to, in my opinion, go to 001. That's not even 1 cent. That's a tenth of a cent, and that $281 becomes 1,146 in liquid wrapped Bitcoin that they can claim. The benefit for Axion is obviously deferred if they stake 15.2 years, which is exactly what they've done. So some interesting numbers there, and it looks a bit of buying going on in here at the moment, so pretty fascinating. I hope you guys have all enjoyed that little run through. A lot of people ask those questions on Discord, and often people go through the calculator themselves. I have left the calculator in the comments there that you can go through yourself, and that's where it's at. So let's just do a little wrap up of the Axion price at the moment. We're at 0002, almost 0021, and we had a little green candle for the day. Pretty neat. Let's just jump to 15. Let's jump to a 30-minute candle. So it's 30 minutes, and you can see that we had some decent buying in here, pretty cool, and that we're up about 11 or so percent. So we'll go. We had a little dip right down to 000188. Good buying there. If you got that, we're up 11% from there, so not too bad at all. And I think it's just quiet before the storm, as you saw with the calculator. Wrapped Bitcoin is coming pretty soon. And it's going to be very dynamic, and the mass marketing is going to be joining that, and I think Axion's going to stand out with regular marketing every month. It's going to be pretty huge. People are after the big gains, and it's sitting here right in front of them right now with this current price, in my opinion. So there we are, folks, bouncing off this little mark. And so we've got liquidity, 4.2 million US dollars, 470,000, which is twice the volume yesterday. Pulled ETH 1451, that's up to pulled Axion, looks pretty similar to yesterday, 10 billion, and total transactions 27,390. Now these have risen, of course. They used to be way down at 21, 22,000, so a lot more transactions. We can see that Hex is rising a bit, 0086, and Wise has come off the bottom there. It was at about 35 cents, so that's 35.5. It's up at 38.7, and obviously Axion is also moving a bit, so nice to see. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that. It's pretty much been close to half an hour, and thanks for watching, everybody. And I will see you at the end of the day for the auction close. I'll be doing a quick live stream. It just seems easier way than to record, and hope you guys enjoy that. So thanks for watching, and onwards and upwards. Stake and divs. All right, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.